Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and I was basically strong-armed by my alliance leaders to make today's video. They essentially came to me with a blackmail proposal. They said, Alex, we need new recruits. It's very hard to find new players for our endgame top-tier alliance. We want to continue dominating, but we're going to need to generate some new attention for ourselves if we're going to continue to do that. And you, being Cynicalex, have the best chance at generating new attention for our alliance. And in return for me making this video, they weren't going to leak a bunch of my foot pictures that they have due to a hacking leak. So not wanting to get all my, OnlyFans subscribers upset, I decided let's go ahead and make this video rather than getting blackmailed. But all jokes aside, this is a recruitment video. All right, some of the things I just said were a joke, but the recruitment aspect was not a joke at all. We literally are looking for high-end end-game veterans with maxed out, stacked accounts. We're looking for VIP 20 whales who know what it takes to win. If you are one of those people, if it sounds like I'm describing you or who you will very soon be, hit us up. Hit up Leadox, my alliance leader there. You can see LEADOX. Hit them up online or Discord or wherever you find them, and see if you have what it takes to join. Because when you join Nemesis, not only are you joining one of the 10 best alliances for Alliance Battle Legend, like we're consistently in the top 16, consistently in the top 10, sometimes even higher, but we're also basically the second best alliance tournament team in the game. And that's a huge feat considering that this is the pinnacle of whale competition in Marvel Future Fight. And basically the rest of this video is going to be explaining what the alliance tournament is, because if you're going to join Nemesis, if you're going to join our coalition, you're going to be getting access to probably the only game mode in Marvel Future Fight that you currently don't have access to, the alliance tournament, because we get in every single week, basically, barring some sort of cataclysmic event. And more often than not only do we get in, but we place second or first almost every single week. As you can see here from the past 8-week snapshot or 7-week snapshot, we only failed to place second twice. And that team at the front, at the top there, the Avengers, that is our coalition, big brother, big sister alliance, who is always placing first. So we basically have an absolute chokehold, stranglehold on the alliance tournament game mode, and we want you to be a part of that, or rather, my alliance leaders want you to be a part of that. But I wouldn't mind it either. Now, what is the alliance tournament? Well, unfortunately, it is a ruthless arena where alliances are pitted against each other in a, as you can see here, sort of round robin. I think it's called the round robin or Sweet 16 format. And you're basically, every stage is a knockout stage, so you have to win in order to progress to the next round. So in this first round, Nemesis, my alliance, that's highlighted with the light blue square, is going to be facing off against Odyssey. We need to get more total wins, that means more successful attacks than they get over the course of 80 total attacks. We're going to have 40 attacks. Our 40 members are going to be allowed to attack their 40 members at our choosing, and vice versa. They'll be able to attack us. So we have 40 attacks and 40 defenses. It looks exactly the same as Alliance Conquest in the sense that you're attacking a team of 3 with your team of 3, except there's no backup team, and the stakes are a lot higher because it's a knockout round every single time. There's no zone that you're fighting for control over that can switch back and forth over and over and over again. So we need to knock out Odyssey to compete and go ahead to the quarterfinals. Then if we knock out the team in the quarterfinals, we make it to the final 4. Then if we knock out the team in the semifinals, we make it to the finals. If we have lost in the round of 8 or in the round of 4 for the semis, then we go on to the 3rd place matchup. That's essentially how Alliance Tournament goes. And then it goes like this, and it basically continues every single week. So it's a 4-day, it's basically a 5-day event, and then you have 2 days off, and then it repeats. And as new metas come in, Jean Grey came in recently, Hulk before that, Carnage, etc. You have to continually build up your roster and max out these characters as fast as possible in order to stay at the cutting edge of the Alliance Tournament meta. Now, there are some issues with this game mode. I've made it sound really cool and fun up front, but it hasn't been updated in basically 7 years since the game mode came out. The game mode came out about a year after MFF was introduced to the world, and it's a whale's playground. Unfortunately, they've just never paid attention to it, which is crazy considering, like I said, most high level, most big spenders are here already. So it's kind of a wonder, and it makes you think, why aren't they updating this game mode? And it also maybe gives you a bit of an appreciation, even if you're not one of those players, because if they're not paying attention here, then they're obviously paying attention somewhere else, right? For game modes for newer players, or not so aggressive spenders, etc. I would like to see this game mode get updated for sure. There's not that many things they can do to it unless they radically change the formula, but probably the best thing they could do for it is to change the pick ban list. And I'll give you a little insight and I'll show you what this looks like here. I'm going to click set team. You only have 24 hours to set your team, and then it's locked for the duration of the tournament. But every week it cycles through the restricted characters. As you can see here, the restricted characters for this week, none of them are really meta impactful. We have Dormammu, Gilgamesh, Doctor Doom, Shang-Chi, and Thanos. However, sometimes a really big meta like Jean Grey will be banned, and that causes everyone to have to shuffle around their best teams. Now, the Alliance Tournament is a very competitive game mode, so there's a lot of secrecy. I'm going to spill a couple of those secrets for you guys right now, but I've been, again, warned, threatened, red dot cited by my Alliance leaders not to spill all of the secrets. So I'm just going to give you a couple here, but essentially your team composition at this point in time is really the most important part of the Alliance Tournament. So if any of this is sounding interesting to you and you have what it takes on the ABX ABL side, again, hit us up as an alliance and we'll see if we can slot you in somewhere. But yeah, the default team, if you don't actually change anything, is Captain America, Iron Man, and Black Widow, which is really funny, but you don't want to do that. So what you do is you click off of these characters and you remove them, and then you can slot in whoever you want. So generally speaking, one of the most competitive teams nowadays is Gore Lead with Jean Grey and Hulk. This is no coincidence. This is no surprise here. These are three of the best PvP characters in the game. Maybe some of you would be surprised and maybe slot out Hulk for Carnage because he has the immortality. It depends, right? Carnage is a little bit more defensive, a bit more crowd control type of character, whereas Hulk is more like massive DPS, huge nuke burst damage. But it can get a bit RNG because if your Hulk gets killed by their Hulk, that usually means that it's over, right? And you are going to see a ton of mirror matches because the meta for this game mode is so tight. And there's just so much experimentation that everything that's good rises to the top and everything else gets pushed down and sort of boiled out. So Spider-Man already sort of been boiled out because of Carnage, because of Hulk, etc. Ant-Man doesn't even really have a chance here. A lot of other metas who you might consider for timeline battle just don't cut the cheese anymore. Even Adam Warlock, Sentry, etc. It would take a very aggressive restricted character list to bring any of these characters back. But that's really, I think, what would be the thing that improves this game mode, because honestly the restricted characters are pretty boring. The restricted characters lists, some weeks there aren't any restricted characters, so it's just a free-for-all, and essentially you get the repetitive builds that we see in timeline battle, right? It's basically the same problem of timeline battle where you see a lot of the same teams, basically the same thing that goes in Alliance Tournament. But there are things you can do to improve your odds. So I'm going to show you here. I'm going to hit set team, and it's going to give me this little pop-up saying the participating team has been set. I'm a little paranoid, so I like to back out and go back in to make sure it did set and it's not back to Captain America, Iron Man, and Black Widow. And then from here, we can make a few adjustments. These are a few of the secrets that I told you I wasn't supposed to pop off, but I'm going to be popping off these secrets for you. First of all, one secret I want to tell you guys, okay, but don't tell anybody, all right, is that the positioning matters, okay? Of course, you need to put the best leadership in the leadership slot, duh, right? You can't be like this, right? You're just losing 35% HP for no reason. But the positioning on the left and right characters, this absolutely matters. And it matters even more when you have characters in the meta who have type advantage or disadvantage. So for example, if you were going to use Spider-Man, you have to consider where most enemies are going to put their Hulk. And you, generally speaking, do not want to be face to face when you consider like that one of the teams gets flipped. You don't want your type disadvantage to be flipped and be face to face with the type advantage character, because that means it's more likely from the testing that's been done by whales and veterans and gigachads that your character is going to get clapped. You'll get their cheeks absolutely hyper clapped. Okay, so then of course that matters if they're running Hulk and you're running Adam as a counter. You want to make sure that you can sort of 5-head chess and guess ahead of time, be like, oh, they're gonna put their Hulk on the left, I'm gonna put my Adam on the right, so when it gets flipped, they're face to face, and then boom, my Adam just karate chops this dude into space. Okay, that's the first tip I want to give you guys. Second tip I want to give you guys is that the team and the way that you build your characters is snapshotted when you hit the team set button. This is a very important thing to remember. So what that means is if you make changes to your characters after you set the team, but before the timer is over, you can see I have about 5 minutes and 43 seconds there in the yellow, I have to come back here and I have to snapshot it again. Otherwise, it's not going to update. So let's say I had a PvE build on my Hulk. Let's say I had a CTP of Rage, and then I swapped out the CTP of Rage for the CTP of Regen. I have to go and make sure that the team is set before the timer expires. Once the timer expires and it's on to the battling, it no longer cares what your build is. So if you change your build after the tournament starts for a character, it's not going to change your build. So you're not able to play catch up midway through the tournament, or you're not able to pull like a peekaboo move or a rug pull and completely swap out your builds on your characters to take a team by surprise, right? Everything gets saved and snapshotted when the tournament starts, and then it's static until the end of the tournament. So that means that you need to do all of the building at the beginning before the tournament starts. What that also means is you can take advantage. This is one of my other secrets. Okay, this is the other secret I'm gonna drop for you guys. It's a huge secret. All right, the other thing you want to take advantage of is the agent bonus. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go over to the agent thing. Okay, like I gotta be quick with this because if they catch me, they're gonna hurt me. All right, and you're gonna go to bonus and you're gonna hit reset. Check this out. You're gonna reset this. Boom. Now I just lost a little bit of HP on my Hulk and my Jean. Just to give you an example here, Jean has 172,500 HP. Okay, remember that 172,500. Now, I go back to the agent thing. We're going to go to bonus, and we're just going to pump this. We're just going to pump this all the way. All in on HP. You thought it was good with 2%? No. We're going all the way up to, I don't know, what is this going to be? 5, 6%. We're going to triple the amount of HP. I'm going to hit apply. Okay? Save that. We go back to Jean Grey. Instead of 172,500, what is she at? 177. So she gained almost 500 HP. You might not think that's a lot, but the multiplier in Alliance Tournament is ×8. So whatever your character's HP is, it gets multiplied by 8, I think, or 12 in the tournament. So my 177, so that 5,000 equates to over 40,000 more HP. That 40,000 could be the difference between her getting killed or surviving a blow at the very end of the fight. So my Jean Grey, instead of having like 1.35 million HP in the tournament, she's going to have over 1.4 million HP in the Alliance Tournament. So that's what you want to do. You got to go back, right? You got to go back and you got to set your team, right? But you go ahead and you do this, boom, and you set it, and then you're done, and then you're done. And then you can go back, right? You can go back and you can reset this if you're going to go and, you know, play your game modes. You want to get your item acquisition. You want to get your increased gold, etc. This does cost you 1 million gold per week, but it's a small price to pay for that competitive advantage. All right. So yeah, that's basically it for the Alliance Tournament. Like, there's a lot more nuance to it, and there's a lot more stuff. Like I said, I can't share with you guys because they would literally, you know, leak my photos, break my legs, etc. But it's honestly a game mode that has a lot of untapped potential. And I made videos about this game mode when it came out, and I was urging the devs to make this a game mode that was accessible to all players, because if you do the math, right, 16 times 40 is not that many players. You have about 640, not about, you have 640 players who are able to experience this game mode every week. That's a very small number of players. Now, obviously, it's geared towards whales, and it's designed in such an exclusive way, like the VIP aspect of a club, where it's like, we want you to spend the money, we want you to buy the bottle service, and we want you to reserve the table, whatever, so that you are treated like a VIP, but so that you're paying our bills, right? It's all just an exchange, right? We're going to give you some sort of prestige as long as you give us enough money. But the other thing is, they never improved this game mode. That's the thing that boggles my mind. It's like you have a club and you have a VIP zone, but you never updated the upholstery. You never made the booths look nicer. You never bought the latest liquor and the latest vodka and whatever, Hennessy. You don't have any of that new stuff. You have all this old, dusty alcohol that no one wants to drink, all these old, outdated champagne bottles that nobody knows. You have all this ugly, old, you know, cups that's dirty and stained and you know, cracked. And you're like, you're wondering why the VIPs are not coming into your VIP booth. Well, you got to update the VIP booth. So the Alliance Tournament is basically the VIP booth in this analogy. And I'm hoping, if nothing else, even if we don't get any recruits at all, my photos are going to get leaked. What can I do? But at least we do get an improvement to this game mode. Because if all they have to do is just improve the restricted character list, and that would make it so much more interesting. Like, if they straight up banned Jean and Gore and Hulk, it would be hilarious, bro. It would be hilarious. Did you know that once upon a time, Luke Cage and Sharon Rogers were meta for this game mode? Yeah. Crazy, but it's true. Anywho, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Don't Google those photos, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.